Diagnose and resolve file storage issues. Welcome to Diagnose and resolve file storage issues. In this capstone project, you'll choose and apply troubleshooting methods to diagnose and resolve an employee's file storage issue using log file analysis to identify the problem. Then, you'll implement a solution and verify functionality. The basis for this project is a simulated scenario in which you'll help diagnose and resolve an employee's file storage issue. The issue requires a swift and effective response. The project has 4 goals. Choose the appropriate troubleshooting method. Review log files to diagnose the issue. Implement the appropriate solution. Test the solution to ensure you have resolved the issue. Prerequisite learning. This project is based on the knowledge and skills you acquired in these modules. Troubleshooting approaches. Desktop hardware. Networking hardware. Skills summary. After completing this capstone project, you should be able to choose the appropriate troubleshooting method for a specific scenario. Communicate with users about their issues. Review log files to diagnose the issue. Choose the appropriate storage solution given a set of requirements. Review log files to verify functionality. Employability skills. In addition, you will have practiced these employability skills. Analytical thinking. Attention to detail. Critical thinking. Communication. Learning agility. Problem solving. Select each section to learn how you will practice these employability skills in this project. Analytical thinking. You'll employ analytical thinking by selecting the appropriate troubleshooting method, examining log files, and breaking down a complicated issue into its essential parts. Attention to detail. You'll practice attention to detail when you carefully scrutinize log files, SSD requirements, and options. Critical thinking. You'll use critical thinking to assess the situation based on information that you receive from the employee, establish a theory of probable cause based on the employee's storage issue, and interpret the evidence available in the log files. Communication. You'll communicate with the employee via email and a messaging app to gain an understanding of the issue and request remote access to their computer. Learning agility. Because IT support issues can vary, you'll demonstrate the ability to quickly adapt and choose appropriate tools. Problem solving. You'll use problem solving to identify the required implementation steps and determine how you might verify functionality. How will you be assessed? 1. As you work through each step in this project, answer the required questions to demonstrate your knowledge of troubleshooting approaches and methods. You will receive feedback and can retry if you do not get an answer correct. Note: do not close your browser while working on a step in the project because your progress will be lost, and you'll need to start again. 2. Complete a 10-question final assessment to demonstrate the knowledge and skills you applied in the project. You must get 80% to pass. You will receive feedback and can retry the final assessment if needed. Steps to complete. In the role of an IT support technician, you will diagnose and resolve file storage issues. You'll complete this project in 4 steps. 1. Review a support ticket. 2. Choose a troubleshooting method. Task 1. Determine the appropriate troubleshooting methodology. 3. Identify the problem. Task 1. Interview the user. Task 2. Evaluate the response. Task 3. Establish a theory of probable cause. Task 4. Analyze logs to confirm or disprove your theory. Task 5. Gather more information. Task 6. Establish a new theory of probable cause. Task 7. Confirm the new theory to determine the cause. 4. Implement the solution and verify functionality. Task 1. Review SSD options. Task 2. Choose a storage solution. Task 3. Finish implementation. Task 4. Verify functionality. The support ticket. You are working as an IT support professional at a mid-sized accounting firm. You have just received a ticket from an employee named Ruth Ann Johnson. Review the ticket to determine initial, important information you can identify. Employee details. The employee's name is Ruth Ann Johnson. Her email address is rjohnson@acctdepartment.com. Her employee number is 3147-625-5330. She is located at the Palo Alto campus, Building G, Workspace 348. Her device ID is rjohnson desktop 02. Request details. The request type is categorized as an issue. The priority level for this request is set to medium. The current status of the request is new. The device type involved is a desktop. The operating system running on the device is Windows 10. Issue details. I have been experiencing issues when downloading files from our company's cloud drive. Whenever I try to open these files, they appear to be unreadable. I've talked with some other employees who access the same files, and they do not seem to have the same issues. This problem is causing delays in my work and affecting my productivity. What do you notice from the ticket? Ruth Ann Johnson, the employee, is having trouble downloading files from the company's cloud drive. The files appear to be unreadable. Other employees who access the same files have not reported any issues. The issue is affecting Ruth Ann's productivity and ability to complete her work, making this a high priority. Overview. Step 2. Choose a troubleshooting method. In Step 2, you'll consider the information you reviewed in the support ticket and choose the best troubleshooting method to resolve the issue. You will choose from the following troubleshooting methods. The CompTIA troubleshooting methodology, a 7-step process for addressing technical issues. The OSI model, a 7-layer framework for understanding computer communication. The MAIC, a 5-step approach for improving processes. Overview. Step 3. Identify the problem and establish a theory of probable cause. Now that you've chosen a troubleshooting method, you're ready to start working on Ruth Ann's issue by applying the individual steps. Troubleshooting is not always a linear process. When using a troubleshooting method, there might be times when you have to apply steps more than once to find and solve a problem. However, the CompTIA troubleshooting methodology provides a structure so that you will always know where you are in the process and what to do next. Using the CompTIA troubleshooting methodology, you'll complete tasks to identify the issue, develop a theory of probable cause, test the theory to determine the cause, and establish a plan of action to resolve the problem. Then, you'll be ready to implement a solution and get the employee back to full productivity. Complete the tasks. Next, you will complete these tasks. Task 1, interview the user. Task 2, evaluate the response. Task 3, establish a theory of probable cause. Task 4, analyze logs to confirm or disprove your theory. Task 5, gather and analyze more information. Task 6, establish a new theory of probable cause. Task 7, confirm the new theory to determine the cause. Overview. Step 4, implement the solution and verify functionality. In Step 4, you'll review the action plan that you developed, implement the solution, and verify functionality. Review the action plan. By applying both the CompTIA troubleshooting methodology and general troubleshooting steps, you've successfully identified the root cause of Ruth Ann's file corruption problems. Your investigation, supported by evidence from log files, has led you to conclude that a malfunctioning SSD is the most probable cause. This step in the CompTIA troubleshooting methodology is when you establish a plan of action that enables you to find the right solution to solve the problem specific to this case. You've developed the following action plan to resolve Ruth Ann's issue. Take some time to go over this action plan. Preparing to install the SSD. 1. Provide the user with a backup device. Before you make any changes to Ruth Ann's current storage device, ensure she has a backup device to use. This allows her to remain productive while you work on resolving the issue. 2. Backup user data and system software. Before removing the existing SSD, make sure to back up all essential user data and system software. This is a critical step to prevent data loss. 3. Choose an appropriate SSD. Before removing the existing storage device, select a new SSD that is compatible with Ruth Ann's system specifications and meets the performance and storage requirements for her workflows. After receiving the new SSD, 1. Remove the existing SSD. Once you've secured the backup, proceed to carefully remove the existing SSD from Ruth Ann's computer. This is where the actual hardware replacement begins. 2. Replace with a new SSD. Install the new SSD in place of the old one. Initialize and format the new storage solution and ensure it is accessible by the operating system. 3. Test the SSD. After installing the new SSD, conduct a series of tests to ensure that it is functioning correctly with the existing system. 4. Verify with the user that the SSD is working as expected. Once you've confirmed the new SSD is functional and compatible, verify that her storage device is working as expected and that the corrupted file issue has been resolved. Review SSD requirements. You've just sent Ruth Ann a backup external hard drive device and provided her with instructions on how to back up her existing data and files. It's a strong start to implementing your solution. Before you begin the third step in your action plan to select a new SSD, you first need to review the organization's requirements for file storage. Making sure the SSD you choose aligns with these specifications and her workflow demands will ensure you choose the right SSD to replace her faulty one. Take a moment to review the requirements. SSD requirements. The following are the requirements to consider for Ruth Ann. Ruth Ann's work involves handling large data sets, complex data analysis tools, and crunching numbers in spreadsheets. Speed. While she does work with large data sets and does complex data analysis, speed isn't a critical concern for Ruth Ann, as the average speed of modern storage solutions will be more than adequate. Storage capacity. With multiple ongoing projects from various clients, she needs plenty of space to store various report files and large data sets. However, since she also uses some internal cloud storage, a capacity between 1 TB and 3 TB would be sufficient. Reliability. The storage solution must be robust and reliable for the long term, as any data loss might be catastrophic for her deadlines and for the company. Expandability. With a large enough storage solution, expandability isn't a key factor. Data security. Ruth Ann needs the highest level of security measures to protect sensitive customer and company data. Cost. The budget for the storage solution cannot be more than $350. You've shortlisted 3 storage solutions based on the budget and Ruth Ann's desktop requirements. Wrap up. In the role of an IT support technician, you successfully diagnosed and resolved file storage issues. Now that you've completed this capstone project, you should be able to choose the appropriate troubleshooting method for a specific scenario. Communicate with a user about their issue. Review log files to diagnose the issue. Choose the appropriate storage solution given a set of requirements. Review log files to verify functionality.